Have you ever felt your blood boil when someone cut you off in traffic or said something that struck a nerve? In those moments, it feels like anger is just an instinct. You don't choose it, it just happens. But what if I told you that anger is not something you have to feel? That every time you get angry, you are choosing to react, and that choice is completely in your hands. It's true. We've all been in situations where we feel overwhelmed by emotions, where someone or something triggers us, and suddenly we're consumed by anger or frustration. It's a human experience. But what if you could change that? What if instead of being at the mercy of external circumstances, you could remain calm, unshaken, no matter what anyone does? Imagine the power you'd have, the freedom you'd feel, untouchable by the actions or words of others. Right now, you may be thinking that's impossible. How can we not feel anger when we're hurt or disrespected? When things don't go the way we expect? But the truth is, anger is a choice. It's not a reaction we have to be slaves to. It's a response we can choose to control. And that's the key to never getting angry or bothered by anyone again. You might be thinking, but I've tried everything. I just can't stop getting angry. And you're not alone. Most people don't even realize how much power they have over their emotions. We get caught in patterns, reacting the same way every time. Someone does something that rubs us the wrong way, and before we know it, we're consumed with irritation, frustration, or even rage. But this isn't the way it has to be. The reason why we get angry often has less to do with the person or situation and more to do with our own expectations. We expect things to go a certain way. We expect people to treat us a certain way. When that doesn't happen, anger creeps in. But here's the powerful truth. Expectations are optional. Think about it. How often do you get upset because things didn't go the way you thought they should? We all build mental images of how things should be. And when life doesn't meet those images, we feel betrayed. But what if you could let go of those expectations? What if you could start seeing life as it is without any preconceived notions of how it should be? What if you could choose peace instead of anger, calm instead of frustration? The most liberating part of this is that you can. You don't have to let the world's chaos dictate your emotional state. You are in control of how you respond. And when you learn this, when you truly internalize it, you'll find that nothing can truly rattle you. People's words, actions, and even their attitudes no longer have the power to disturb your inner peace. It's all up to you. But here's the thing. You have to be willing to make a shift. It's not something that happens overnight. It requires awareness, self-discipline, and a deep commitment to your own emotional freedom. You must recognize that you are the one who decides what your emotions will be. You can break free from the cycle of anger by training your mind, redirecting your focus, and understanding that what happens outside of you does not have to disturb what's inside of you. Stick with me because in the next moments, I'm going to show you exactly how to break free from this cycle. You'll see how simple changes in your mindset, awareness, and perspective can lead to an unshakable peace. This is not just theory. This is something you can do starting today, and once you make this shift, nothing and no one will ever have the power to take away your peace again. Stay with me. The life you want is waiting for you. And it starts right now. When we get angry, it's almost always because something hasn't gone the way we thought it should. Think about the last time you felt that spark of frustration. What happened? Someone said something you didn't agree with, someone didn't live up to your expectations, or life simply didn't unfold the way you planned. And in that moment, you felt betrayed by the world. But here's the truth. The world didn't betray you. Your expectations did. Expectations are powerful. They shape how we see everything around us. The problem is they often set us up for disappointment. We expect people to act a certain way, life to be fair, things to always go our way. But life isn't predictable. People aren't perfect. Things won't always go according to plan. And when that happens, anger creeps in because we feel like we've been wrong. The deeper your expectations, the stronger the anger when they aren't met. But the more you let go of those expectations, the more you reclaim your peace. It's not about lowering your standards or becoming passive. It's about releasing the need for everything to happen your way. Imagine if, instead of reacting in anger when things didn't go your way, you chose to let it pass. What if you could look at a situation and, instead of feeling upset or angry, you saw it for what it was, a moment that you don't have to let control your emotional state? This shift doesn't require anything but the willingness to let go of the belief that life should always go the way you expect. This doesn't mean becoming numb to the world, or indifferent to injustice. It means learning how to navigate life with resilience, not reacting impulsively to every little thing that doesn't go your way. It means embracing the reality that you can't control the actions of others, but you can always control how you respond. This is where your power lies. The moment you start adjusting your expectations, you take back the control that anger stole from you. When you stop expecting others to treat you a certain way, when you stop expecting everything to go according to plan, life begins to flow with more ease. You'll no longer find yourself caught in a grip of frustration every time something doesn't align with your mental image of how things should be. Instead, you'll feel an inner peace, a calm knowing that life is unfolding exactly as it needs to. This isn't just about letting go of expectations. This is about reclaiming your emotional freedom. Anger holds you hostage. It clouds your judgment and blinds you to the beauty of what's happening around you. When you choose to release the need for control, you choose to live in freedom. Freedom from anger, freedom from frustration, freedom from the emotional roller coaster that so many people find themselves on, trapped by every twist and turn of life's unpredictability. What if you could look at a situation that would normally make you angry and instead see it as a lesson, as a chance to grow? What if you could say to yourself, this doesn't control me? Imagine how much lighter your life would feel. Imagine how much clearer your mind would be. Instead of reacting, you could respond with understanding, with calmness, and with strength. Your peace would no longer be determined by what others do or say. It would come from within, unshaken by the world around you. This is the moment when you begin to realize that anger doesn't serve you. It only keeps you trapped in a cycle of emotional upheaval. When you break free from this cycle, you create space for something much more powerful: peace, clarity, and emotional strength. You become the one who sets the tone, the one who decides how to feel regardless of what others do. And that, right there, is the kind of power that transforms your life. Are you ready to stop being controlled by anger? Are you ready to let go of expectations and embrace a life where your peace is unshakable? The freedom that comes with this shift is unlike anything you've experienced. It's time to take that step. It's time to reclaim your emotional control and live a life where nothing and no one can disturb your inner peace. The truth is, your peace isn't just about letting go of expectations. It's about learning to control your own mind. Most of us think that emotions just happen to us, that we can't control them. But that's a lie. Emotions, including anger, are born from thoughts. And if you control your thoughts, you control your emotions. That's where your power lies. It's the most powerful tool you have, but it requires awareness. Awareness that you are the creator of your own emotional world. When anger rises within you, it's a signal, a warning that something inside you has been triggered. But here's the most powerful part. You get to decide how to respond. That split-second moment, that flicker of irritation, is when you have a choice. You can either let it consume you, letting it build and take over, or you can pause, breathe, and choose something different. It's that simple. You don't have to react impulsively. You can create space between the trigger and your response. Most people don't realize the power of that pause. They feel a surge of anger, and before they even know it, they're caught in it, spiraling downward. But if you can learn to pause just for a second before you respond, you'll realize that your emotional state is not inevitable. In that pause, you have control. You can breathe. You can choose a response that aligns with who you want to be, not who your emotions are telling you to be in that moment. That's how you stop anger in its tracks. That's how you stop being controlled by anything or anyone. This isn't just theory. This is how people who are calm and collected handle life. They don't let their emotions dictate their actions. They don't let what someone else says or does pull them into anger. They understand the power of their thoughts, and they make the conscious decision to take that pause and choose peace. They don't let the world drag them around. They are in control. Imagine what your life would look like if you could truly take back that control. Think about how much more peaceful your interactions with others would be. No more reacting in anger. No more holding grudges. No more letting someone else's behavior determine how you feel. Instead, you would have the power to choose how to respond, to remain calm, to speak with purpose, to act with clarity. You would no longer feel vulnerable to other people's behavior because you would no longer need to rely on their actions to feel good about yourself. This is the kind of emotional strength that transforms everything. The ability to stay calm in the face of chaos, to be unshaken by the actions of others, to never let anger control your life. It's not just about avoiding negative emotions. It's about rising above them, about choosing a higher path. And the more you practice this, the easier it gets. The more you choose peace, the more it becomes your default mode. The more you take control of your thoughts, the more natural it becomes to stay calm no matter what happens. The power to change your emotional world lies within you. Every time you stop yourself from reacting impulsively, you're training your mind to be stronger, more resilient, and more peaceful. It's a muscle you build over time with each choice you make. And when you've mastered this, when you build the habit of responding thoughtfully rather than reacting emotionally, you will realize something incredible. Your peace is yours and nothing or no one can ever take it from you. You are the creator of your own emotional state. So every time anger begins to rise, remember this. You have the power to decide what comes next. You don't have to be swept away by the emotions of the moment. You can choose peace. And once you do, once you embrace this power, you will see how much stronger and more powerful you truly are. You will never again be a prisoner to anger. You will be free. And that freedom, that peace, is something no one can ever take from you. There's something even more powerful than controlling your thoughts, something that can change everything about how you relate to the world. And that is compassion. Compassion is the antidote to anger. It's the key to seeing people in situations not as personal attacks or frustrations, but as opportunities to understand and connect. When someone says something hurtful or when the world feels like it's against you, your first instinct might be to react with anger. But if you pause just for a moment and instead respond with compassion, everything changes. Think about it. When you feel anger rising within you, it's often because you've been hurt in some way, right? Someone disrespects you, ignores your needs, or does something that bothers you. In those moments, it's easy to feel justified in your anger, to feel like your emotions are entirely appropriate. But what if instead of choosing anger, you chose to see things through the lens of compassion? What if you chose to look at the person who triggered your emotions and thought, maybe they're struggling, maybe they didn't mean to hurt me, maybe they're acting out of their own fear or pain? Compassion allows you to look beyond the surface, beyond the words or actions that seem so personal, and see the person for who they truly are, a human being just like you, with their own challenges, fears, and struggles. And when you see someone through the lens of compassion, it's impossible to hold on to anger. You realize that their actions are not about you. They are about them and what they're dealing with inside. This shift is revolutionary. When you stop taking things personally, when you stop assuming that every negative word or action is a direct attack on your worth or your peace, you free yourself. Compassion becomes your shield. Instead of reacting in anger, you react with understanding, with empathy. And not only does this help you remain calm and centered, but it also helps you build deeper, more meaningful connections with others. Compassion doesn't mean letting people walk all over you or accepting bad behavior. It doesn't mean ignoring your boundaries or staying silent when something isn't right. It means choosing to respond with empathy, with kindness, even when it's hard. It means saying, I see your pain and I won't let it trigger mine. And when you do that, when you choose compassion, you free yourself from the hold that anger has on your life. Every time you practice compassion, you step further away from anger and closer to a peaceful, empowered existence. You realize that your emotional state is not dependent on what others do or say, but on your ability to choose your response. And as you continue to practice this, it becomes easier and easier. The more you choose compassion, the more natural it becomes. It becomes who you are. And the world around you begins to reflect that back to you. The beauty of compassion is that it doesn't just impact your own emotional well-being, it transforms the relationships you have with others. When you choose to respond with compassion instead of anger, you create space for understanding. You create an environment where people feel safe, heard, and valued. And when you do that, you not only protect your peace, but you also inspire others to rise above their own anger and frustration. Compassion is a ripple effect. It starts with you and it spreads outward, touching everyone around you. You might think, but I don't want to be a doormat. I don't want to let people get away with things. But compassion isn't about being passive or weak. It's about choosing strength in the face of adversity. It's about rising above the negativity of the world and holding on to your peace no matter what. When you respond with compassion, you take control of your emotions. You create a life where you're no longer reacting to every little thing that happens, but instead, you are choosing the energy you want to live with. Compassion frees you from the need to be angry. It's the key that unlocks the door to true emotional freedom. When you embrace compassion, you embrace your own power. And once you've made this choice, nothing can shake you, not the words, actions, or negativity of others. You are in control and you are free. There's something profoundly liberating about realizing that you are not at the mercy of the world around you. The truth is, the only thing that holds you back from true peace, from living a life free from anger, is your own perception of control. We've all been conditioned to believe that when something happens that disturbs us, we must react, that it's natural to feel anger, that it's the only way to release frustration. But this belief is what keeps you trapped. You are not powerless in these moments. You are, in fact, more powerful than you can imagine. The way we see the world shapes our experience of it. When you believe that you must react to everything that bothers you, you remain in a state of constant emotional turmoil. Every slight, every disagreement, every little inconvenience becomes something that you must respond to with anger or frustration. But what if you could choose a different lens? What if you could see each situation not as a threat to your peace, but as a neutral event that simply is? You can. When you stop believing that everything that happens is a personal attack, you free yourself from the need to react. When you stop holding on to the belief that you need to fight every battle, you create space for peace. Think about it. Every time someone cuts you off in traffic or says something hurtful, it's a test. It's a moment where you can decide whether to stay calm or let your emotions take control, and the choice is yours. The simple truth is the world will never stop presenting challenges, and people will continue to say things that don't align with your beliefs or values. But none of that means you need to become angry. It doesn't mean you have to carry the weight of their actions on your shoulders. You can choose to let it go, to release the need to react, and to respond with the understanding that the person who's upset you is often just reflecting their own inner turmoil. What they say or do to you is not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of where they are in their own journey. Imagine how much lighter your life would feel if you didn't feel the need to fight every battle. If you didn't feel that every conversation, every interaction, every moment was a chance to defend yourself, to protect your pride, to stand your ground. What if you could let go of the need to always be right and instead choose to be peaceful? What if you could let go of the anger that comes from feeling misunderstood or unappreciated? The freedom in that would be indescribable. By choosing peace, you begin to reprogram your mind to see things differently. You stop seeing every challenge as a threat and start seeing it as an opportunity to grow. You stop reacting and you start responding. The difference is profound. Responding means you've thought through your options. You've decided to handle the situation with grace, with strength, and with the awareness that your emotional state is not dependent on what others do. Reacting means you've allowed someone else to dictate how you feel. But responding means you've taken back control. It's not about pretending to be perfect. It's not about always being calm, always being the bigger person. It's about realizing that in every moment you have the ability to choose. And when you start choosing peace over anger, when you start responding instead of reacting, you realize how much more in control you are than you ever imagined. This kind of emotional freedom is a game changer. It's not just about avoiding anger, it's about becoming someone who is immune to it. It's about becoming so grounded in your own inner peace that nothing and no one can disturb it. When you've mastered this, you'll find that nothing has the power to take you off course. You will walk through life with the quiet confidence that no matter what happens around you, you will remain centered, unshaken, and at peace. And that is the kind of life you deserve. The kind of life where you are not a prisoner of your emotions, but the master of them. The kind of life where your peace is not negotiable. So ask yourself, right now, are you ready to take back control? Are you ready to choose peace over anger, to respond instead of react, to create a life where nothing can disturb your calm? It's all within your reach. All it takes is a decision to let go and choose something better. Every time you react in anger, you are giving away a piece of your power. You are letting external circumstances dictate your emotional state. But what if you could learn to hold on to that power, to protect your peace at all costs? Imagine what it would feel like to go through life knowing that nothing, no insult, no frustration, no challenge could steal your calm. This is the kind of emotional strength that allows you to not only survive, but to thrive in a world full of triggers. The truth is, when you respond in anger, you are allowing the other person or the situation to control you. Think about the last time you lashed out, when you allowed yourself to get caught in a whirlwind of emotions. It felt justified at the time, didn't it? But what did it cost you? It cost you your peace, your energy, your clarity. When you choose anger, you're choosing to be emotionally manipulated by what's happening outside of you. And in that moment, you give up the one thing that can truly change your life, your ability to choose how you feel. But when you stop reacting, when you choose to pause before responding, you gain a power that no one can take from you. You create an emotional buffer between yourself and the world around you. Instead of allowing the actions of others to control your emotions, you create space. You reclaim your power. And in that space, you get to choose how you want to feel, how you want to respond. And that, my friend, is where your true strength lies. You are not a victim to your emotions. You are the creator of them. You have the ability to train your mind, to shift your focus, to change your emotional state. And it all starts with the decision to stop reacting to the world as it is and start responding to it as you choose. This doesn't mean you ignore your feelings or pretend to be something you're not. It means you acknowledge your emotions, but you don't let them control you. You don't let anger be your default response. Instead, you consciously choose a path of peace, of calm, of understanding. Every time you practice this, it becomes easier. Every time you pause instead of react, you build mental resilience. You strengthen your emotional control. You become more powerful than you ever imagined. And this power doesn't just make you stronger, it makes you unstoppable. It gives you the freedom to navigate life's challenges with grace, confidence, and an unwavering sense of peace. The world around you may continue to throw challenges your way. People will continue to disappoint you. Situations will arise that test your patience and your sense of justice. But when you've mastered the art of not reacting in anger, these things no longer have the power to destabilize you. You will be like a rock in the middle of a storm, steady, grounded, unmoved. And that steadiness will radiate from you, influencing everyone around you. You might think, this sounds great, but it's not always possible. And you're right, life isn't always easy. But here's the thing, the more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. The more you choose peace over anger, the more effortless it will be to stay calm. You're not trying to force yourself into an emotionless state. You're simply training yourself to not be controlled by external forces. You're creating an inner strength that becomes automatic with practice. The key to never being bothered again by anyone, to never being dragged into anger, is this: take back your power. Stop letting the actions of others dictate your emotional state. Stop reacting to life as though it's something you have no control over. You have all the control. You have the ability to shape your inner world with your thoughts and your choices. And once you realize this, once you truly understand the depth of your own power, you will never again be a victim to anger. You will be free. And that freedom, that peace is worth every ounce of effort it takes to get there. True peace doesn't come from the world around you. It doesn't come from the people in your life, the things you own, or the circumstances you find yourself in. It comes from within you. And once you realize this, once you fully grasp that you are the creator of your own peace, your own emotional state, you unlock a power that can never be taken from you. No matter what happens, no matter what others do or say, you are the one who gets to decide how you respond. You are the one who gets to decide what you feel. And that realization is both liberating and empowering. This is the key to never being bothered by anyone again, taking full responsibility for your emotions. It means letting go of the need to blame the world, the people around you, or even yourself for how you feel. Every time you choose anger, you're giving away that responsibility. You're giving the control to someone else. But when you choose peace, you take back that control. You choose how to respond, and you choose to protect your own sense of calm no matter what's happening around you. There's immense strength in realizing that your peace is not something that depends on others. It's something you can cultivate within yourself. It's not about waiting for the world to change or for people to treat you perfectly. It's about understanding that you have the power to maintain your peace regardless of what happens. When you stop waiting for the world to give you what you want, when you stop hoping that others will change to suit your emotional needs, you stop being at the mercy of external circumstances. And that's when you truly start to live. The next time someone says something hurtful or does something that triggers your anger, pause and remember, this does not define me. Their actions, their words, their behavior, none of it has the power to shake your inner world unless you let it. If you choose to react, you've handed over control. But if you choose to remain calm, to respond with understanding or even silence, you reclaim your peace. And when you do this over and over again, you begin to build an emotional resilience that nothing can break. In these moments, the key is to remember that nothing, no argument, no insult, no misunderstanding is worth your peace. You are stronger than any provocation. The truth is, when you let someone else's words or actions affect you, you're giving away a piece of yourself. You're letting them have the power to control your emotions. But when you stand firm in your own peace, you're not giving that power away, you're holding it for yourself. This is not about being passive or indifferent. It's about being deliberate in your emotional choices. It's about choosing to hold your peace with strength, to not let anyone steal it from you. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. Over time, you'll find that you don't need to react. You don't need to get angry. You'll develop an emotional foundation that is unshakable, and the world will no longer be able to disturb your peace. Every time you make the choice to remain calm, you are building a stronger, more powerful version of yourself. You are strengthening your inner resilience, and this resilience will protect you from the storms that come. You'll find that people can try to provoke you, try to bring you down, but it won't matter. You will be unshaken. You'll begin to see the world through a new lens, one that's free of anger, resentment, and frustration. You'll see challenges as opportunities for growth, not as personal attacks. You'll begin to walk through life with a quiet confidence, knowing that nothing has the power to disturb your peace. You are the keeper of your emotional state. The world doesn't have to change for you to feel peace. You don't need other people's approval to feel good about yourself. You are the one who gets to decide how you feel. And once you realize this, you will never again allow anyone to take your peace from you. You will be free, and that freedom is priceless. Your peace is the most precious thing you will ever possess. It is the foundation of your strength, your clarity, and your ability to navigate life's challenges with grace. When you protect your peace, you protect your ability to think clearly, to make wise decisions, and to show up as the best version of yourself. Without peace, you are vulnerable. Without peace, you are at the mercy of every person, every circumstance, and every fleeting emotion. But with peace, you are unstoppable. You are grounded, unwavering, and powerful. The world will test you. It will push your buttons. It will challenge your patience, and it will try to provoke you into anger. But when you realize that your peace is not negotiable, you stop engaging with these tests. You stop letting the world control your emotional state. The power to stay calm, to remain centered no matter what happens, is a choice that only you can make. And once you make that choice, everything changes. This is the truth you need to understand. The things that upset you are not the problem. The real problem lies in how you respond to them. It's the belief that you must react, that you have no choice but to let the world dictate your feelings. The moment you accept that you do have a choice, that you can choose peace no matter what happens, you take back your power. And when you take back your power, you stop giving away your emotional energy to situations and people who don't deserve it. When you choose to stay calm, you choose to remain in control of your own mind, body, and spirit. This is where your true power lies. When you no longer allow external forces to dictate your mood, you step into a level of emotional intelligence that most people will never reach. You become a force of nature. The world may continue to throw challenges your way, but you won't be shaken. You will remain steady, resolute, and at peace. It's easy to feel like your emotions are beyond your control. When someone cuts you off in traffic or says something hurtful, it feels automatic to respond with anger or frustration. But the truth is, every time you choose anger, you are letting that person, that situation, have control over you. And that's not the life you want to live. You want to be the master of your emotions, not a slave to them. And to do that, you must make the choice to remain calm in the face of adversity. You must remind yourself that you are in control of how you respond. The key is to stop identifying with your emotions. Anger is not you. Frustration is not you. These emotions are temporary, fleeting, and always within your control. You are not your emotions. You are the one who feels them. You are the observer of them, the chooser of how to respond. And when you stop allowing your emotions to define you, you break free from the cycle of reactivity that keeps you trapped. Every time you practice this, every time you choose peace instead of anger, you reinforce a new pattern in your brain. Your mind starts to rewire itself to default to calmness instead of chaos. It becomes easier, more natural to stay centered when life pushes you to the edge, and eventually you'll find that the things that used to trigger you no longer have the same power. You built a shield of peace around you, a shield that no longer allows anger or frustration to penetrate. You become untouchable. You become unstoppable. This is how you take back your power. This is how you stop being bothered by anyone or anything. You stop giving your emotional energy away. You stop reacting to things that don't deserve your attention. You stop living at the mercy of the world around you. Instead, you create your own peace, your own emotional state. And once you've made this choice, you will find a new sense of freedom. A freedom that allows you to walk through life with a calm, quiet confidence that nothing can shake. This freedom is the ultimate power, and it is yours to claim. When you realize that your peace is the only thing that truly matters, everything changes. The small things that once bothered you, the frustrations that once consumed your mind, no longer hold any power. The world will always throw obstacles in your path. People will always act in ways that you don't agree with, but none of that needs to affect you. You are not here to react to the world. You are here to create your own experience. And the moment you make that shift, when you stop letting the world control your emotional state, you unlock the power to create a life of peace, of strength, and of unwavering confidence. Imagine a life where no one can steal your calm. Think about the freedom in that, to walk through your day without the weight of anger, resentment, or frustration weighing you down, to be able to move through the challenges of life without allowing anything to disturb your inner peace. This is not some distant dream. This is something you can have. The moment you take full responsibility for your emotional state, you begin to create this reality for yourself. Every time you choose peace, you choose yourself. You choose to prioritize your well-being, your mental clarity, and your sense of purpose over the fleeting discomfort of a reaction. It doesn't matter what someone else says, what they do, or how they behave. What matters is how you respond. And you don't have to respond with anger or frustration. You can choose to let go. You can choose to remain calm. And with that choice, you take back your power. The power to stay peaceful, no matter what, is the most empowering skill you can develop. It's the ability to remain in control of your own mind, your own emotions, and your own energy. It's not about suppressing your feelings or pretending that everything is fine. It's about knowing that you have the strength to respond with calmness, with clarity, and with compassion, no matter the circumstances. It's about deciding that no situation is worth compromising your peace. When you choose peace over anger, you begin to see the world differently. You no longer view people's actions as personal attacks because you understand that their behavior is a reflection of their own struggles, not yours. You no longer take offense at every comment, every slight, every misunderstanding. You learn to let it go because you know that holding on to anger only drains your energy and steals your peace. You become immune to the things that used to trigger you. And this is where true freedom lies. The freedom to live without being constantly provoked by the outside world. The freedom to be at peace no matter what happens. As you continue to choose peace, you begin to see the power it gives you, the power to remain calm in the face of adversity, to remain grounded in the face of chaos. You realize that when you protect your peace, you protect your potential, you protect your ability to create, to grow, and to show up fully in every aspect of your life. No one can take that away from you. No one can disrupt your flow unless you allow them to. This kind of emotional strength is not something you're born with. It's something you develop. It's a skill, a practice, a way of being that you can cultivate each and every day. The more you choose peace, the more natural it becomes. The more you practice staying calm, the more effortless it will be to respond with grace. And eventually you will reach a point where nothing, absolutely nothing, can disturb your inner calm. You will have mastered your emotions. And when you have mastered your emotions, you have mastered your life. Your peace is your power. The world may try to shake you, but it can never truly disrupt you. You are the creator of your emotional reality. And the moment you fully understand this, everything shifts. You will walk through life with the quiet, unwavering confidence that nothing and no one can take your peace away. This is the life you are meant to live. This is the power that is yours to claim. The power to stay peaceful is yours. It's always been within you. You just need to claim it, to acknowledge that nothing outside of you has the authority to control your emotional state unless you allow it. The world will continue to challenge you. People will continue to make mistakes, to hurt, to disappoint. But when you realize that these things don't determine your happiness or your peace, you break free from the cycle of reactivity. You no longer live in reaction to life. You become the creator of your own emotional experience. The key to mastering your emotions lies in how you respond to the inevitable ups and downs of life. Most people live on autopilot, reacting without thinking, letting the world shape their emotional landscape. When something happens, they react, often without choice, letting anger, frustration, or fear take over. This is where your power lies, in the ability to pause before reacting, to take a deep breath and choose how you want to feel. That pause is where you gain control. That's where you take back your power. It's not about suppressing your emotions or pretending that you don't care. It's about choosing to remain grounded, to remain centered no matter what happens around you. You are not at the mercy of others' behavior. You are not defined by your circumstances. The world does not control your peace. You control your peace. When you choose peace, you align yourself with your highest self. You tap into a deep, unshakable strength. Your mind becomes clear, your body becomes relaxed, and your heart becomes open. You no longer carry the weight of anger or frustration. You shed that burden, and in doing so, you create the space to be your true self. Your true self is not ruled by emotions. It is a being of calm, of purpose, of peace. It is the highest version of you, and it is available to you at all times. Every time you choose peace, you strengthen your emotional resilience. You teach yourself that no matter what happens, you can stay calm. You teach yourself that your peace is not negotiable. Every moment you choose to stay calm in the face of adversity, you fortify your ability to navigate any storm that comes your way. Over time, you'll find that you don't even need to think about it anymore. Staying calm becomes second nature. It becomes your default response. And in that response, you find power. You find freedom. The truth is, the world around you will always be imperfect. People will disappoint you. Situations will frustrate you. And things won't always go as planned. But the peace you choose to create within yourself will never depend on the world changing. It will only depend on your ability to stay anchored in your own truth, to stay grounded in the knowing that your peace is yours to protect. When you take responsibility for your emotional state, you stop giving away your power. You stop letting the outside world dictate how you feel. You stop giving others the permission to control your emotions. Instead, you create a life where you are the one in control. And that is where the true power lies. The power to choose your peace, to protect it with everything you have, to know that no matter what happens, you can remain grounded. When you protect your peace, you protect your life. You protect your potential, your ability to grow, to achieve, to be the person you are meant to be. Nothing is more important than this. Nothing is more valuable than the peace that resides within you. You don't need to wait for the world to change. You don't need to wait for people to act better, for situations to improve. You don't need anything outside of you to shift in order for you to feel peace. You already have everything you need within you. And once you realize this, you will find a new sense of power, a new sense of freedom, a freedom that can never be taken away because it comes from within. This is your power. This is your peace. And this is how you take control of your life. When you decide that your peace is non-negotiable, you are stepping into a level of personal power that few ever truly understand. The world will always test you. It will challenge you. It will try to knock you down, and it will attempt to provoke you. But once you take control of your emotional state, nothing can shake your foundation. You become untouchable. Not because the world is perfect, but because you've chosen to live beyond the reactions of others, beyond the chaos of circumstances. You've chosen to live from a place of peace, and when you make that choice, everything changes. The reason why most people struggle with anger, frustration, or being bothered by others is that they give away their power. They believe they are at the mercy of the actions of others. They believe that if someone disrespects them, they must respond in kind. They believe that external circumstances have the power to dictate their emotional state. But once you realize that you are the one who decides how you feel, You stop being a victim of the world. You take back your power and you reclaim your peace. And when you do this, nothing can disturb your inner calm. It's easy to slip into old patterns of reacting. Life is fast-paced. People can be rude, thoughtless, and inconsiderate. But what if you could rise above it? What if you could look at the situation, take a deep breath, and simply choose not to be disturbed? What if you could decide in every moment that your peace is more important than being right, more important than winning an argument, more important than holding on to resentment? When you choose to remain calm, you are choosing to protect your energy, your clarity, and your inner strength. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes. It starts with small moments, those everyday situations that used to make you angry or upset. Maybe it's a difficult conversation with someone you care about or a frustrating situation at work. Every time you take a step back, every time you pause and choose to respond with calmness instead of reaction, you are rewiring your brain. You are teaching yourself that peace is always an option. You are teaching yourself that your peace is not dependent on the outside world. It's already within you. This doesn't mean you become passive. It doesn't mean you ignore the things that matter. It doesn't mean you suppress your feelings. It means that you recognize that your peace is a priority. It means that you refuse to let someone else's behavior or the challenges of life knock you off course. You can stand strong. You can be assertive, but you can do so from a place of calm, not anger. You can communicate your boundaries, express your needs, and take action, all from a space of peace. And when you do this, you create a ripple effect. You begin to influence the world around you in a way that doesn't require force. You influence others simply by being calm, by being centered. Your peace becomes contagious. And that space, you create the possibility for others to do the same. Choosing peace doesn't mean you avoid confrontation or difficult conversations. It means you approach them with a calm mind and an open heart. It means you can face conflict without losing your composure, without allowing anger to cloud your judgment. It means that no matter how intense the situation becomes, you remain grounded. And from that grounded place, you make decisions that align with your highest self. This is your power. This is the freedom that comes from taking full responsibility for your emotional state. When you stop reacting to the world and start responding with intention, you unlock a new level of strength, clarity, and peace. You begin to live life on your terms, not dictated by the whims of others or the unpredictability of the world. You create your own reality. And that reality, one of inner peace, is the most powerful reality you can create. The truth is, when you decide that your peace is a non-negotiable, you are stepping into a world where you are no longer ruled by external events. You are no longer a puppet to the strings of other people's actions, moods, or opinions. You become a force of nature, not because the world is perfect, but because you are choosing to remain unshaken no matter what. This is the essence of true strength. It's not about how loudly you speak or how much control you have over others. It's about your ability to remain centered, to stay calm and clear, no matter how chaotic the world around you becomes. Most people live their lives in reaction. They live as though the outside world has the ultimate power to dictate their feelings, their thoughts, and their actions. But here's the reality. When you let external circumstances control your emotions, you give away your power. You surrender your peace, your happiness, your sense of well-being to things that are completely beyond your control. But when you take ownership of your emotional state, when you decide to protect your peace above all else, you reclaim your power. And this is where everything shifts. Imagine what life would look like if you could move through it without letting the frustrations of others weigh you down. Think about how freeing it would be to walk through your day without being disturbed by the actions or words of others, to not let petty disagreements or harsh criticism dictate how you feel. Imagine the mental clarity, the emotional resilience, and the strength you would gain by simply choosing not to be affected by things outside of you. It is possible. And the moment you choose it, you take back control. You are no longer at the mercy of the world. You are the creator of your emotional experience. Every time you choose peace over reaction, you build emotional resilience. You strengthen your ability to stay grounded no matter what life throws at you. It's like building muscle. The more you practice staying calm, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, it becomes second nature. The more you practice choosing peace, the more you realize that the external world has no power over you unless you give it permission to. You begin to see that your emotional state is yours to control, not anyone else's. And this is where your freedom lies. Choosing peace is a practice, not a one-time decision. It's a muscle that you build over time. And while it might be difficult at first, as you continue to choose peace, it gets easier. The more you take a step back before reacting, the more you choose calmness, the more effortless it becomes. You begin to develop a deep, unshakable belief that no situation is worth losing your peace over. Nothing and no one can take away what you have worked so hard to cultivate. Your inner peace becomes the most valuable asset you possess. And as you build this inner strength, you begin to realize that the world is not as powerful as it once seemed. People's judgments, the unpredictable nature of life, the negativity around you, it doesn't affect you the way it used to. It's as if you are surrounded by a shield of calm that no amount of chaos can pierce. You begin to move through the world with a quiet confidence, knowing that no matter what happens, you can stay calm, you can stay grounded, and you can continue forward with clarity and purpose. This is the beauty of mastering your emotions. This is the power of choosing peace. It's not about avoiding life's challenges. It's about facing them with a steady heart, a clear mind, and a spirit that refuses to be disturbed. When you choose peace, you choose to be the calm in the storm. And when you make that choice, everything in your life begins to change. You are no longer at the mercy of the world. You are the master of your own experience. And that is where true power lies. When you fully embrace the truth that your peace is your responsibility, you unlock a power that cannot be taken away. The world will test you. It always does. But with this newfound sense of control, you will begin to realize that every challenge is an opportunity to strengthen your emotional resilience. You are no longer living in reaction, but in creation. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are the architect of your emotional world. And the more you embrace this truth, the more your peace will become your anchor, your source of unwavering strength. Life is unpredictable. It can be messy. But the real question is not whether life will throw challenges your way. It's whether you will choose to react from a place of frustration, anger, or resentment, or whether you will choose to remain grounded no matter what comes your way. The beauty of mastering your emotions is that it doesn't require perfection. It doesn't mean you will never feel angry or upset again. It means you choose not to let those emotions control you. You choose to acknowledge them, but then move forward with peace as your guide. It's easy to believe that others can control how we feel. It's easy to believe that if someone disrespects us or treats us unfairly, we have no choice but to respond in anger. But here's a powerful truth. You always have a choice. You always have the ability to control how you respond. And in doing so, you protect your peace. You don't have to engage in the drama. You don't have to get caught in the trap of reacting. You can stand firm in your peace regardless of the circumstances around you. And when you do that, you stand in your power. You stop giving away your energy to things that don't deserve it. You stop allowing the world to dictate how you feel. The more you practice this, the stronger your emotional muscles become. You will find that you no longer have to think about it as much. Over time, your natural response will shift from one of reaction to one of peace. You will become a person who doesn't easily get rattled. You will become someone who faces life's challenges with a sense of inner calm, with a deep knowing that no matter what happens, you can handle it. You can face it with strength and clarity because your peace is not up for negotiation. It's not up for debate. It is yours, and no one can take it from you. When you make this choice, you also begin to see the world differently. The anger, the frustration, the chaos, they begin to lose their grip on you. You stop taking things personally. You stop internalizing other people's issues and actions. You realize that most of the time, the way people behave has nothing to do with you. It's about them. It's about their struggles, their insecurities, their fears. And when you understand this, you no longer feel the need to defend yourself, to react, or to get angry. You simply let it go. You choose to protect your peace. And in doing so, you let others' behavior slide off of you like water off a duck's back. This is how you transform your life. This is how you take back control. This is how you stop being at the mercy of other people's actions and start living on your own terms. You no longer need to justify yourself, prove yourself, or defend yourself. You simply stand in your peace, and that is more than enough. In a world that often feels out of control, this peace becomes your center, your rock. It becomes the foundation upon which you build your life. And when you build your life on peace, you build it on a foundation that cannot be shaken. This is where your true power lies, in choosing peace, in creating peace, in guarding your peace at all costs. You have everything you need within you to face the world with strength, resilience, and unwavering calm. And when you embrace this power, you realize that no matter what life throws at you, you can handle it. Because you are the one in control. You are the one who decides how you will respond. And that is the ultimate freedom. Imagine a life where your emotions are no longer controlled by external forces, where you no longer allow the negativity of others to affect you, where you no longer give your peace away to circumstances beyond your control. That life is possible, but it requires one thing: unwavering commitment to yourself. When you stand firm in your belief that your peace is worth protecting, that commitment becomes your shield. It becomes your foundation. And as you build this new way of being, you will realize just how liberating it truly is to stop living in reaction to the world around you. The key to unlocking this freedom lies in understanding that your emotional state is a choice, not a reflex. We have all been conditioned to react, to give in to the feelings that arise when someone disrespects us or when life doesn't go as planned. But what if you could stop those automatic reactions before they even start? What if, in that moment of frustration, anger, or irritation, you could pause just for a second and choose a different response? What if you could choose peace instead? This is where the real transformation begins. Choosing peace in those moments isn't about denying your emotions or pretending that everything is okay. It's about recognizing that your emotional reaction is a choice. You get to decide how you want to feel. You get to decide how you want to show up. And when you make the decision to let go of your need to be right, to win, or to prove a point, you release yourself from the chains of emotional turmoil. You stop being dragged down by every little conflict, every challenge, every person who tries to push your buttons. You rise above it. But the shift doesn't happen overnight. It's a practice, a skill that you develop over time. Every time you choose peace instead of anger, every time you decide to stay calm instead of reacting, you're rewiring your brain. You're teaching yourself that peace is always an option. You're teaching yourself that you don't have to react to everything in the world around you. You're teaching yourself that your emotional state is yours to control. And the more you practice this, the stronger you become. The stronger your ability to stay calm in the face of adversity, to remain centered when everything around you is chaotic. It becomes your new normal. You become a person who doesn't easily lose their cool, a person who handles stress with grace, a person who is unshaken by the ups and downs of life. And when you reach this level of inner strength, the world begins to change around you. People notice, they see your calm, they see your power, they see your peace, and in turn, they begin to mirror it back to you. This isn't about being perfect.